Miss? What did I miss?
We are at the Freeport Business Expo. Business.
We haven't gotten there as yet.
But what else do we do?
Okay. So we are on location at the Grand Lucayan Hotel for the Freeport Business Expo Tourism Edition 2025. Second year.
Second year.
Yes. Another opportunity for all Bahamians to be able to come together with international providers that are here more than last year. International providers to have an opportunity to do some new things in the tourism space. So, have you been on the expo show floor?
I just want to put that out there. I was very prophetic because last year I said this was going to be the first and annual.
You did.
And we did it.
Right.
You know what?
You'd think that you just write the budgets to be saying these things, but okay,
I just do it, yes. But I have been on the show floor, and I'm excited because I know without a doubt some of the things that we see inside there that we're now going to see in Grand Bahama real soon because the opportunities are here, which means the opportunities available for everyone, for Grand Bahamians, but also for Bahamians as a whole.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I would venture to say that some of these products are already here. Some of the persons that would have gotten involved from last year's show. So we're talking about real results and not just taking a look at what's here and hoping that it comes. It's already
It's
here.
not in the pipeline.
It's not. It's out of the pipeline.
It's out of the pipeline.
Yes, it's out of the pipeline. It's done. It's done. Hands on. You could touch it. Tangible.
Yes.
So we're really, really excited about it. And of course, we want to encourage you, if you're watching this right now, make sure that you share the link. Tell somebody. Take a look. Watch it. ZNS nationally, our news, our TV, obviously ILTV, and you can listen out on the radio stations here across Grand Bahama. So thank you guys so much for being with us. Make sure that you share all of this good stuff. But without further ado,
Okay, I'm ready to go.
we have some wonderful guests that are right here, right now, on the show floor, in the room,
Real
that would
people.
have come to. I think we always have real people.
Let's
on
make
the
it show up. Just
I
making
think
sure
we
they're
always
being
have real
live.
people. They are here, and we're so delighted, so excited, and so grateful to be able to have them joining us. So we would like to welcome to the Focus Forward show for the very first time, and also to the Freeport Business Expo, Miss Erica Lewis, who is from the Embassy of the United States of America, and she is the Political Economic Unit Chief.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us here. We're really honored.
You're a newbie. You get a round of applause.
And of course, our second guest, who needs no introduction.
None.
This gentleman, no, everybody knows him.
Let's
He
just be
certainly
quiet for a
needs
second.
no introduction, and he is an entrepreneur extraordinaire here within the city of Freeport. He has created at least one business that we know of that is just
One business.
at least one is what I'm
Okay.
saying.
All right.
That we know of that perhaps is just legendary and historical for the city of Freeport and the island of Grand Bahama. So, Mr. David Wallace from Pirates Cove Zipline and Water Park, the managing director, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure. Not only a pleasure to be with you, ladies, here on the show, but it's also a pleasure to be to the second trade show here on the island of Grand Bahama.
Say annual. You know you want to say
Annual, you know. I have been going to these shows starting about 4 or 5 years ago in Orlando every November. The IAPA show has about 2,500 exhibitors. And so when I heard one was coming to Grand Bahama, I think it's good for everybody, not only on the island of Grand Bahama, but every family island. If you are serious in the tourism business, you should come to this show and see what these expo has to offer.
Oh, I like
Wonderful.
it.
I love that.
You almost took the whole show.
Invitation.
That's it.
Wonderful invitation. Thank you so much, Mr. Wallace. And of course, we also want to welcome for the very first time to the Focus Forward Roundtable and to the Freeport Business Expo. I met this lady just a few days ago at the Grand Bahama Port Authority, was totally taken aback by the information that she was able to share. And we're really, really excited to have her, Mrs. Rolandra Francis Roll, who is the private sector development consultant for IDB Lab that is here on Grand Bahama. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Lindy. It's a pleasure to be here, guys. I'm really, really excited to be a part of the show, a part of this space, and really, really just support all of the work you're doing here in Grand Bahama.
Okay.
Thank
She
you,
gets a
thank
round
you.
of applause too. You're in it as well.
Drum roll, drum roll.
Oh, okay.
Drum roll.
I'll get drum roll for you. It's good.
So let's just get into the conversation, right? Obviously, Ms. Lewis, you know, it's very interesting that the Embassy of the United States found it important enough to be here within the city of Freeport for this time at the Freeport Business Expo. Why was it so important to be here?
One of the things that I think is consistent is that there are tons of Americans who come to the Bahamas. You talk about 80% of the tourists that roughly come to the Bahamas are coming from the United States. We have millions of cruise ship passengers a year that come here. Americans own second homes, so we are deeply invested in the Bahamas. And so seeing the commercial economic success of the Bahamas is closely tied to our commercial and economic success. There are Bahamians who I meet all the time who have business interests in the U.S., who have their sole trade relationships and partnerships with businesses that are based in the U.S. And so I just feel like we're closely linked. So we're really honored to be here to just, I think, foster that partnership even more.
That's wonderful. And I also know that we do have a few of the businesses here. You would have been on just a brief tour a few moments ago and you had an opportunity to engage. What do you think about some of the exhibits that you would have seen with some of the internationals and a few of the locals?
They're amazing. I really think that this is the place to be. I just want to echo what I've heard already around the table. I'm seeing things in the water sports area. I'm seeing things just related to storage solutions. I'm seeing cold storage solutions as well. I'm just seeing a lot of different convenient and innovative solutions, I think, in the tourist space. And because tourism is the largest sector in the Bahamas, you know, the topic here is so relevant, and it's a topic that I think there's a lot of potential then to continue to expand and to continue to innovate. So really proud to see it looks like roughly a dozen U.S. companies are here represented, a number that haven't crossed, you know, paths with us at the embassy. So we're making new connections that can hopefully help them broaden their footprint here in the Bahamas and in the region, but at the same time, hopefully making connections with local companies here. I saw a number of candles that I want to pick up and a number of things that I've seen from local vendors, so I look forward to going around the floor again today. But again, you know, the partnerships that we can have also through our trade shows, I think are very impactful. So we've taken a number of Bahamians in the recent past to the U.S. to go to trade shows, focused on beauty, focused on a number of commercial goods. So look forward to being able to do more of that and making those connections here.
Okay, and just before we move on, I just have to ask one more question. I know that you guys have an exhibit booth. You are on the show floor and you're available. What are some of the things that the locals and the internationals can come to you to receive?
Absolutely. So first, I'd say anything from a contact list. If you are a company that's interested in coming to the Bahamas, primarily we're focused on U.S. companies, we can provide a contact list through our network all the way to a gold key service. And so what we provide there is we'll set up meetings for you with government, with private company, you know, representatives to try to help you be able to then get into the door into the Bahamian market. At the same time, if you want to learn about upcoming trade shows or just come and share with us what your business is so that when we hear about opportunities, we can then mention your name and make sure that, you know, you're someone that we're keeping top of mind to potentially be able to expand to the U.S. So just, you know, anything that we can offer in the commercial economic space, please come and talk to us. And then also as it relates to just general business facilitation, if you're looking just to be able to find out, well, what is the process? We can point you to the one-stop shop that exists here in Freeport. We can point you to resources in Nassau to be able to make those sorts of connections and elsewhere. So,
Well, it sounds like in the Bahamian vernacular, you're the plug.
yeah, we're trying, definitely trying to be.
You're the plug. You're the person that we need to come to for sure. All right, so I have her name written down. On the break, I'm gonna definitely make sure to get that
Taking your
private
notes.
number and getting
Yes.
it down pat. All right, sitting next to you is the incomparable David Wallace. There's no one like you, none. And there's also nothing like the business that you have right now in the city of Freeport. So for those who only could be living on the rock if they don't know, tell them what is your business, what do you do, and how has this show benefited your business?
Pirates Cove Zipline and Water Park started on a cruise on board the Carnival Cruise Line. In 2009, I visited the island of Antigua. Had a little niece who wanted me to do a zip line tour. I had never heard of a zip line before. I was not convinced to do the tour, but while on the city tour, lo and behold, I saw about 100 tourists standing on a line. I said to the bus driver, why are they standing on this line? He said they ready to go on the zip line. I said, stop the bus, let me see what this zip line is. And lo and behold, these big trees in Antigua over the rainforest, they had connected them with these lines, and people were up there zipping from tree to tree. And the only thing that came to my mind was, wow, Tarzan and Jane has come full circle. And I came up with a crazy thought of putting a zip line in the Bahamas. And lo and behold, I went to Orlando, Gatorland. They had put in a zip line. like us in the Bahamas, they didn't have no big trees like Antigua. They had to put up lampposts, and so they became our role model. We got the information from them, and lo and behold, we were able to put a zip line in Freeport. The beautiful thing was the Port Authority leased us 7.43 acres of land on the beach. And so, aside from putting in a zip line, one of our investors says, why not develop a beach opportunity? And that was the best thing we ever did. The numbers are phenomenal. And I don't think the Bahamians, especially the Grand Bahamians, understand the impact of what's going to happen to Grand Bahama with the arrival of Carnival Cruise Port. Presently, Carnival brings to Grand Bahama between 13 to 15 ships a month, with about 350,000 passengers a year. They're now moving to 40 to 50 ships per month with about 2.5 million cruise passengers.
That's a lot of people.
Plenty people.
Plenty.
The other day, we had about 3 ships on the island with about 7,500 persons on the island. We had 1,500 persons at Pirates Cove Zip Line and Water Park. We ran out of lounge chairs, tiki huts, picnic table. There was nothing left.
You ran out of it.
With 7,500 people. Okay. You could imagine when Carnival drops 2 cruise ships at their port with about 15,000 persons in total, and then Freeport Harbor has another 1 or 2 ships with about another 6,000 or 7,000 people. Grand Bahama has to get ready for what is going to happen.
I hear more businesses coming.
Yes.
Pirates Cove, we are happy. We are expanding. We are putting in a clear kayak tour. We're putting in a sea scooter tour. We're putting in a UTV tour, and we're putting in the Sea Trek tour, with the view of putting in 1 or 2 more tours, including an indigenous count tour, where we have a narrator, tells you about the count, 24 persons at a time. After explaining to you about the count, you walk into the water into a count crawl, you pick up a count, you come out the crawl, you go back to your station, he shows you where to crack it, he shows you where to stick it, he shows you how to take it out, how to clean it, how to skin it, and you can make your own count salad or prepare it for crack cup.
I feel
That's
the
where we want to take
excitement
you.
across this table. I feel the excitement. And this is all birthed out of him touring, out of him exploring and coming and seeing the opportunities here in Grand Bahama. And while he was speaking, there's nothing that I could think about other than, okay, if they're running out of beach chairs, they're running out of umbrellas, which means there's another company that needs to be on the island, be able to facilitate things for when things are full. Okay, we need to order 200 more chairs.
There's more business opportunity for persons. Many persons who come on these cruise ships, they want to go to the beach. They come off the ship with a towel around their neck and their bathing suit. If that don't tell you where they want to go, then I don't know what to tell you.
So still the sun, sand, and sea.
Yep.
Yes. Are you coming off the cruise ship and going to Pirates Cove with your towel on your neck and your bikini?
I won't be coming off the ship, but I will be there. Why are we talking about bikinis? Let's talk about Freeport Business Expo.
Right.
So you would have been here last year, and of course, when we were in IAPA last November, you were there as well.
Right.
So it was a good time to be able to explore. So now some of these businesses that we would have spoken to are here today, and we're very grateful. How is the Freeport Business Expo and your connection to these international providers, how has that helped you with some of the tours that you're introducing?
Well, first thing what it does for you is it brings all of these vendors to one place.
Right.
So if you were looking to expand your business, you don't have to be on the internet searching or driving or calling. All of these vendors are in one spot. We've expanded our business. First with our water slide, we found them at the IAPA show in Orlando. The Sea Trek we found here last year, and we were able to take cars from Sea Trek to our property to see how we could put in the Sea Trek. And the good thing about them being here is you could now take them to your property so they have a better visual of what is it that you are trying to do.
Hands-on, in person.
Absolutely.
And just to be clear, for those that are watching, that the IAPA show was a show that the Port Authority offered business owners here on Grand Bahama, as well as other islands.
Yes.
And they made provisions so they can go as a group
Yes.
to go to this particular trade show to have this opportunity. So, thank you to the Grand Bahama Port Authority, of course, for making that happen. I know you would have been there before, but we wanted to make sure they know what we're talking about.
Right.
This particular show. And vendors from that show actually came out here to this particular
And
event.
today I'm seeing vendors that I didn't see at IAPA.
Because the place is so big.
So we met them not last year in 2024, but in 2023.
Okay.
So of course now we wanted to continue the relationships. We didn't want them to just kind of fizzle away. So the idea was to be able to engage as many as possible. Some of them would have expressed interest last year, but could not do it based on their other calendars. But they said to us, call us next year, and we'll be calling, and we will call all of these people next year, and we're going to go back to IAPA in 2025
And you're bringing
even more.
bringing more.
Sure.
Even
Okay.
more.
And that's why I want to encourage persons in Bimini, because Bimini is beginning to see a big boost in cruise numbers.
Yes.
Prior to 3 or 4 years ago, cruise ships did not visit the island of Bimini. Now Bimini has a cruise ship every day. They have more cruise ships than Grand Bahama right now. And so therefore, the Biminites who are in business needs to come to the show here in Grand Bahama.
So you're back to what we talked about just before, going on air, which is that everybody in the Bahamas, not just Grand Bahama,
Yes.
but everyone in the Bahamas needs to come to this particular expo here in Freeport.
Especially those persons in the islands of Bimini, the Berry Island where the cruise ship goes to, Diabaco, who gets not only great numbers from not cruise ship, but they have a big boating community. Many persons go to Abaco by boat, and they have a big LF overnight. And so therefore, you are able to put in businesses that could facilitate not only the cruise ship passengers, but those passengers who are overnighting on the islands.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Wallace. And of course, Mrs. Frances Roll, we want to come over to you. I had mentioned in the very beginning that IDB, I found out, is now here in Grand Bahama, IDB Lab. So tell us a little bit about that. What is the mission of IDB Lab?
So the mission of IDB Lab is really built upon innovation. So just think about a laboratory. Think about a space where you are allowed to create and innovate and come up with some really, really interesting and impactful ideas. That's really what we do. So we're focused on innovation and technology and bringing a level of awareness to issues such as climate change. We're in the healthcare thematic area, climate resiliency, the silver economy, any space that will really create a level of impact within Latin America and the Caribbean, and by extension, of course, the Bahamas and our friends in our backyards, Grand Bahama as well.
Sounds great. Now, Alex, do you know anything about IDB other than what she would have mentioned with IDB Lab? Did you hear about IDB before?
So I heard a little about IDB, but I wanted to hear exactly what is it that IDB does, what they do, and their benefit to Freeport,
Right.
in particular. So that's one of the reasons why I'm like, I need to pull her aside.
Right. So I think some conversations need to be had, certainly, and we're very happy that you're actually here within the city of Freeport in Grand Bahama, because as we had spoke about a few days ago, I believe that there are persons here that they have a concept of what they think IDB is, but they don't truly understand. So for persons that are watching the show, we want to invite them, obviously, to be able to come out. But when they visit your booth, what's some of the information that you can, I guess, tangibly share with them?
Absolutely. So for IDB Lab, like I mentioned, we are really, really strong in innovation. So we want to collaborate with those medium and small enterprises that are focused on creating some level of impact within Latin America and the Caribbean. We're looking for companies that are willing to seek to scale up, become sustainable. We're really, really wanting companies that look and seek to make a difference. This past January, we had the opportunity to launch a new strategy within IDB Lab. It's called the Ecosystem Building Accelerator Strategy. And basically what that does is that is connecting with key players within our local ecosystem so that we can support them, whether it be financially, through connections and partnerships, and allow that support between IDB Lab and those key ecosystem players to then funnel their level of impact to startups who need that level of support. We know that the Bahamas has so many startups, so many people with great ideas in the tourism space, in various different spaces, but sometimes what there is they lack the capacity to scale up. They lack the capacity to know, what do I do next? And the partnership with IDB Lab provides that level of knowledge, because we have our partners in Latin America and other parts of the Caribbean that may be doing something that's similar to their business model that can help them to grow their business, scale up their business, and increase the level of impact, not only within the Bahamas, but maybe scaling it up to somewhere else in the region as well.
Now, you had mentioned something about collaboration, and this morning in Ian Roll's presentation at the opening ceremony, he had mentioned this business by the name of Triton Submarines. And he had indicated that right now, the idea is there, Triton Submarines is here in the room. I believe a presentation is going on right now. And what he was, I'm guessing, saying to the group is, we need someone to be able to take this idea, lead it, and bring some people on board. So are you saying, I'm going to put you on the spot, are you saying that if there was a leader of that group and several persons that are financially capable, obviously, and they would have put their plan together to be able to introduce this particular business to the island of Grand Bahama, that could be something that they could explore through IDB Lab?
I would say definitely that we're definitely in the space of capacity building. So obviously doing our due diligence and looking at the business model and all of that different things. It is something that we're interested in the capacity building space. Okay. Is this business able to provide a level of impact to the other key players on the ground? And if so, that would definitely be something that we're interested in looking at. We are not for any reason trying to limit our level of impact. We see that there is possibilities all across the Bahamas, all across our beautiful archipelago, and we want to feel a presence, and we want our presence to be known in that space. And so obviously without having the details of it all, in the capacity building space and the eco building space, it's definitely something that we would like to look at and see how we can support in whichever capacity that we're able to provide support in.
Okay, and then a little birdie told me, and I'm just going to go to this final question for you, and then we'll do one more round on the table because we still want to hear from our other guests with final thoughts. But we would have talked about at the opening ceremony, I believe our MC mentioned that there's going to be a Capital Arena Tourism Titan pitch competition that's going to be happening tomorrow. And if I'm saying this correct, I believe you guys may be judges for the... Are you a judge?
I'm a judge.
I am.
Yes.
Yes.
So we have two judges here at the table.
I'm a judge.
So tell us a little bit about your excitement around a competition like that with Grand Bahamians trying to vie to get several thousands of dollars to be able to go towards their business.
I think it's an amazing opportunity for Grand Bahamians to showcase the talent that we know that is here. I think the Grand Bahamians are some of the most resilient sets of people that we have in the Bahamas, and so I'm super excited to be able to share a space with a panel that is looking to see what are the local entrepreneurs doing on the ground, what are some of their innovations, how are they seeing it, providing solutions and problems to some of the issues that we have in Grand Bahama and maybe also within the Bahamas in general. So I'm super excited about being a part of that panel. I'm super excited to see the talent that we will have showcased. And I can't speak enough of how thrilled I am to have the opportunity to just sit on that panel. I'm really excited about that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wallace. Any thoughts around that?
Well, I look forward to it. I look forward to it for two reasons. One is, what we've been able to do at Pirates Cove Zipline and Water Park to build it, we were able to put 33 Bahamians together. They all threw $50,000 into a pot. That's how we raised the $1.3 million to build Pirates Cove Zipline and Water Park. The investment is now around about $3 million because we've expanded the park since we would have initially built it. But what that taught me was, we as Bahamians, if we can pool our resources, because if we can't do it individually, we should see how we can do it collectively.
Right.
And if we follow the model of the Sunshine Boys, who some 55 years ago, and they would have followed the model of the Bay Street Boys, who would have done something very, very similar. And I keep telling people we would then be able to own a piece of the Bahamian pie by pooling our resources. So as for the Triton submarine, that $9 million might sound like plenty. But if we put 250 people together with a business plan and an investment plan, you are then able to find the people to make it happen. And an investment like that will bring you back great returns. I mean, Mr. Roll has an idea where you could keep the submarine, how you could get out to the sea. We have the wall that you could dive down on, and they are thrill seekers. And once you can get the buy-in of the cruise ship, because remember, the cruise line has, some of these ships have 7,500 people. They have a captive audience of who they can sell it to. And so until Grand Bahama is able to take off with the overnight passengers, we are very thankful for the cruise ship passengers. And the reality is, when I hear the numbers now, we're going to move from 350,000 with Royal Caribbean and MSC, we might get to between 5 and 8 million cruise passengers a year.
Yeah,
the population of Grand Bahama Well, it's only 50,000 people. So we got to understand the impact. If we don't find things for people to do when they come to the island, they're going to stay on board the ship or stay right into the cruise port.
So we're going to work towards that, and I think that's what the Freeport Business Expo is all about.
Yes.
And as we go into our final thoughts, Ms. Lewis, please tell us from the U.S. Embassy, what are some of the things that you think people, again, can look forward to if they were to come to this expo along with all of us?
Before she tells you, I wanted to find her roots. You know, she's a Lewis. I want to tell her.
You know where our family from. And that's what we do, right? Where's your family from?
Absolutely, absolutely. I've gotten that a lot since moving here about a year and a half ago. I think that people need to know that these sorts of opportunities, as you mentioned earlier, are key for making connections. It's all about collaboration. So I hope that people listening in will join if they can over the next 2 days, and if not, make it a priority to get your tickets early to be here next year.
Yes.
Because this is the way that we can foster prosperity, greater prosperity in Grand Bahama and beyond for all of the foreign businesses that are coming in and looking for opportunities here. This is the place to be.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so very much for being with us. Of course, the show continues here, Freeport Business Expo, Grand Lucayan Hotel. We are so delighted and excited to have our wonderful guests. And we have more show to come for you, so please do not go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this.
Reawakened, the reimagined, the rebirth, the Renaissance capital of the Bahamas. Over $1.5 billion in investment. Marinas, cruise ports, downtown revitalization, residential developments. We're putting the city on the map. Want to know more? Just log on. Your future is only a click away.
So here at ACD, we have a wide variety of medical supplies. We have walkers, we have wheelchairs, we have hospital beds, we have bath bench, we have over-the-counter medicine, we have toilet seats for your bedside. We offer physical therapy services and also lymphatic therapy. So you can come in and book your appointment and we'll make sure to set you up. And if you don't see something in the store, we can order it for you. The wheelchairs and the hospital beds, so you can rent them by the week or the month. If you're concerned about your blood pressure or your glucose level, you would come in and we can give you a testing. We also have some incontinence supplies. We have dressing and bandages. We have compression garments. So come on down and we'll be happy to serve you.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Focus Forward. We are here on location at the Grand Lucayan Hotel for the Freeport Business Expo Tourism Edition. It is May 1st, and the show is going to be May 1st and 2nd right here within the city of Freeport.
You missed 2 important facts.
What did I miss?
Number 1, it's the best talk show in the Bahamas. Number 2, this is the 2nd annual Freeport Business Expo.
Okay.
Get the name right.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I believe that she puts together the budgets. I thought the gentleman that's on the other side of me does.
We're being prophetic.
So
we're
she is
speaking it to make people make sure they're here.
We'll take it. We'll
Yeah,
take it.
make sure
I
they're
believe
here
that
for
the
next
show,
year.
I believe that the show is making a very positive impact on persons that want to be in the tourism space, whether they're entrepreneurs or they're actually in the space currently. And we heard in our first segment where Mr. David Wallace was talking about the projects, what's happening, how are we now going to be positioning ourselves, what opportunities are out there. And so we want to continue that conversation.
That's right.
And of course, we couldn't continue that conversation without bringing the person that makes this possible for us to have the show.
Person that manages the budget.
Ian Rule. He does so much more than that. He was the visionary and makes it happen. He gives us the opportunity as a team to work together. And so we're very, very happy to have Mr. Ian Rule, president of the Grand Bahama Port Authority and Port Group. Welcome back.
Thank you very much for having me.
Good,
Thank you.
good. It's good to have you. And of course, just sitting alongside him for the very first time at the round table in Focus Forward, I would venture to say maybe the first time in Freeport.
It is.
First time in Freeport. First time at the Freeport Business Expo.
Okay, keep
Lots
going
of
there.
firsts.
Lots of firsts.
Lots of firsts.
Okay.
So we're really excited and grateful to have Kristen McClellan. She is the founder and CEO of Snap Wellness.
Thank you. Thanks
Welcome.
for having us.
Okay, you
Good to have
get
you.
a round. I'm sorry, no, what David said, I have to do a drum roll.
Drum roll.
Because you're newbie, drum roll. Welcome.
Thank you so much. And of course, coming back to join us again. She's always here to spread really, really
My
good
favorite
news.
people.
Yes, but beyond being such a wonderful and beautiful person, we also want to recognize the fact that she is the communication and brand representative, right, for the Grand Bahama Islands Promotion Board, who is the title sponsor of our event for the Freeport Business Expo, Mrs. Jillian Williams.
It's so wonderful to be here with you guys always. I'm so excited. There's so much buzz in the room. Like I'm feeling it and I love it.
That's what it's about,
so
getting
we're-
everybody excited.
We're very
Absolutely.
excited.
Good, good. So very, very good to have all of you. So Mr. Roll, let's just talk with you for a minute. This is the second year for this Freeport Business Expo. And of course, we would have seen what I would call some results coming out of the first one with Bahamians getting involved. What do you think ultimately is the goal for this show? How do you think people need to be impacted? How do you think they need to be touched? What's going to be the result coming from here?
Yeah, I think a number of Bahamians, especially those who want to get involved in business or are currently in business, are looking for opportunities, especially in the tourism-related space. You hear about all these various projects, Carnival, Royal Caribbean, MSC, and Six Senses, etc. But persons are wondering, how do I now get a piece of this? And so the idea that we have is to connect opportunity with the people. And this event here today and tomorrow, I just want to encourage people to really come out and see the unique offerings that are on this expo floor. I want them to connect, and I'm sure somebody will find an opportunity in that room.
Okay, so I'm sure people are listening, and we're talking about this Freeport Business Expo. We're saying it's a tourism edition. And let's just for those who aren't familiar, let's go back. What exactly, first of all, I understand that this is part of your vision, your brainchild, your little baby that you put together. So tell us, how did this idea come about? And what exactly is this event?
Yeah, so we at the Grand Bahama Port Authority and certain stakeholders would have ventured off, and we visited a number of conferences, one called Sea Trade and one called IAPA, and other conferences. And we saw all these various unique opportunities that we wanted to bring to the Bahamas, in Grand Bahama in particular. And we knew that a number of our Bahamians probably would have not received the same type of exposure to see all of these unique offerings. So we decided, let's bring these items, let's bring these vendors here to Grand Bahama to introduce them to the public.
And so you were able to, so the thought is, since all of the Bahamians can't get into these places where you were, we're going to invite these persons to come
Let's
here.
bring it to the people.
Bring it to the people, make it a little easier for them.
Right.
And the opportunities are here, so they're able to come to the trade show that's here.
Correct.
And mix and mingle and network with the business that is here to see how they can benefit Grand
Correct.
Bahama. But not just Grand Bahama.
Not just Grand Bahama,
This is what
this
I
for the
like.
Bahamas.
It's for the Bahamas
Right,
as a whole.
right.
And I like that we focus on the tourism sector simply because of the investments that are happening. With
Right.
Mr. Walls was on the show earlier, and he was saying we're looking at almost 3 to 5 million passengers coming to the island a month. I mean, just the numbers are mind-blowing.
Yeah, but there are certain islands like Exuma, Eleuthera, Abaco, New Providence. They all have an upswing in the tourism sector. So being here at this expo will expose them to some things that don't even exist in their islands.
Right.
So this is good for the entire Bahamas, not just Grand Bahama.
That's what we have. Okay, and I'm just going to ask you one more question. Before we got into it, we were talking about you being a thrill seeker. So what are some of the things that you would have seen at Expo 1 that you're now seeing at Expo 2 that you personally are looking forward to trying and exploring?
Yeah.
Whether in business or personally.
Yeah, so I don't think we have that much extreme type of sports that I really like. I'm a different level of I like extreme.
Okay.
So, and that's moderate stuff going out. Yeah. I don't, like they have solar products, they travel 5 miles an hour. I want to go 100 miles an hour.
How fast does the Seabob go? I believe
The
that there's a
Seabob-
Seabob product in there. How fast is
That
that
sea
one?
bob is pretty good. At least that'll probably take me down 30, 40 feet. I might do the sea bob.
And that's a business opportunity
Right.
that a Bahamian can connect with to bring that here or on any other island.
Correct.
And it's being able to bring it to fruition because we have all the partners that are here as well, which are here. We have the embassy, we have IDB Lab, and these are the persons that are here. We also have a lot of banks inside of the room, finance corporations that are here. So we're
Insurance
excited about-
companies.
That's right.
Yes.
And so I like the fact that the Shreveport Authority has done its due diligence about everybody in the room. The only people we need now is
The Bahamians.
that's it.
That's it. That's it.
That's
So
it.
everything is there, Mr. Rowe. We're going to come back to you, but if we could go over to Ms. McClellan. Ms. McClellan, you came to Freeport, Grand Bahama for this expo.
I did, yes, definitely.
Why?
I mean, for us, so I guess a little bit of background, we created a booth that puts your sunscreen on evenly in 10 seconds.
Really?
So you walk up to one of our devices, you can select your sun protection factor, and in 10 seconds time, you're completely, but most importantly, evenly coated with sunscreen from head to toe. And so for us, sun safety and wellness, especially on all the islands, is such a growing concern. I mean, skin cancer is the fastest growing cancer in the entire world. And so it's about bringing wellness to the area, but also there's so much excitement here, especially in Freeport, and giving the opportunity to have a counterpart that is part of the Bahamas and be able to help us with our machines and grow in this area as well as all the other islands and bring that sun safety to all the people visiting as well as the locals is really important to us.
So based on your research, I know it hasn't been probably that long, but based on your research and your short time here within the city of Freeport, have you seen any places or have you met any people where you think that your product could actually work well?
Oh, definitely. So many even just today alone. I mean, for us, it's about the hotels themselves. It's about the ports for the cruise guests coming off to be sun safe while they're here. But also with our machines, the opportunity is in the touch screen space because it is a self-automated system. They're walking up to it and they can say, hey, now that you're sun safe here in Freeport, join us for this excursion or come join us and eat at this restaurant or book a massage here. And it kind of encourages the tourism to not only be sun safe while they're here, but use that in order to, our tagline is experience more and get them to experience everything that the island has to offer because they're sun safe.
I also want to mention something about our product that I learned last night, right? Is that it's reef safe.
It is, yeah.
And that's so important for the Bahamas to protect our environment.
Yes.
We have these sunscreen products out there, and I think it has caused issues with our reef system over the years. But this particular product, I'm so pleased to say that the product in this machinery is reef safe.
Yeah. So reef safe, eco-friendly, and also it doesn't stain clothing. So it's also about, you can be most people are in a bathing suit, but we could also put this at golf courses or tennis places where I've gone in sundresses. And so it's more about just encouraging people to apply and reapply and have the best time. Because when they get a sunburn, what do? They go in their room.
And that's it.
And that's it.
Yeah. Well, what I like about this is that as a traveler, the less things I have to carry behind me.
Yes,
Because
definitely.
you have to always reapply sunscreen, and so I don't have to be bothered with that. I can just pop into your machine.
Yeah. And especially for the kids, too. You know, getting them in there, they're like, sure, I'll do it.
They don't exactly
Jump on in.
But, right, they feel it's a fun experience
Yes.
to happen there. And I like the fact that everyone, so you can think about even if you're having an event or a fun party or, let me be biased, I'm having an event downtown. Freeport Business Association in the city of Freeport. And so we're having a great day out there. Be like, oh, sun safe is here. Bring the kids. Enjoy the day. The bouncing castle, the slides, all those different things. And your kids can be safe. So I like it. The possibilities are endless.
Yes.
So we can imagine that franchising throughout the whole Bahamas.
Of course. So that actually leads me to my next question. When you talk about franchising throughout the whole Bahamas and that sort of thing, what does a relationship with Snap Wellness look like for a potential Bahamian?
Yeah, for us, there's a few ways. Like, of course, when we have a centralized location with a lot of machines, we do always hire a local representative who will go around, make sure everything is stocked, make sure that the machines look their best, have those relationships with targeted advertisers in the area to put on the touch screens. So that is, one of the prime ways that we interact with, like, having a counterpart who's in a location. But also for the businesses, we do have certain hotels will offer the sprays complimentary and put it in their resort fees. It's a great way to justify those resort fees and really makes guests happy to have sun safety. But then also in the public sector, whether that be the ports, who we enter into revenue share models. It's a way for everyone to benefit from a really popular location, and everybody wins at the end of the day with everyone being sun safe.
I love that.
Agreed.
You know where she is? She's at the
Opportunities,
expo.
3 different types of opportunities. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Freeport Business Expo 2025 is where you can find all of these opportunities here.
Right.
But the only thing we're missing is some major wild excitement for Ian. So that's
I don't think much can meet those expectations.
We're going to send out a clarion
We
call
have to
for
work next
2026.
year.
Yeah,
We have to work next year a little harder.
Something extreme.
Yeah,
Definitely an extreme.
Or we could just put you in the sunscreen machine and spin you real fast.
Okay, we'll see how it goes.
I want to see some sharks.
Okay, maybe we put some in a tank inside there and say, jump in here.
Jump in.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. So, Ms. Williams, we just wanted to come back over to the Grand Bahama Island Promotion Board. Of course, you would have been here on the show with us pre-event. And, just tell us a little bit about what does it mean to be a title sponsor for an event such as this in the tourism space?
So we believe this is major for the tourism industry. The wealth of information that is presented at this expo has just been presented at a timely, time given all the projects that are happening here on the island. Our tourism industry is growing, and so we want to empower our locals with that information to say, hey, this is your time, not just to be an employee, but to have the information, and you too can share in all of the innovative products that are here and become business owners yourselves. We look at this and we see the Grand Bahama Island Promotion Board is member based, and so having so many different businesses here like Snap Wellness who can be members of our board, we're just so excited of the opportunities that have been presented, and we know this is going to speak volumes 5 years down the road when we see even more larger projects come on stream.
Absolutely. And I like what you're saying. What I'm really hearing, and the word that comes to mind is exponential growth.
Yes.
Where this, your title sponsorship, the opportunity to work with the Port Authority and to have these kinds of businesses like Snap Wellness, these unique ideas causes that exponential growth. It's innovation, it's growth, it's learning about new things and new products and new ways to be able to kind of redevelop and reintroduce what we have here in the tourism sector. And so that is very exciting because we're not just coming with some of the same stuff. We want to make people like Mr. Earl get excited about the extremes, right?
And so, can I make mention, because at our last Focus Forward, Mr. Earl did mention, bringing new ideas and unique ideas to the industry. And boy, if you come here today, you will see all of that represented. From what I've seen, it gives me such a great excitement to see the possibilities that we are able to tap into for the island. And of course, again, we are going to see an influx in tourism in the next few years, and just having conversations with those who have visited, they're so excited about what this means for our island. And so one of the messages that we always promote is for everyone to love Grand Bahama. This is our island, and we love our island. We want to promote our island always, and so we think that it can only get better from here. We're so excited for the 3rd and the 4th Freeport Business Expo.
On my train. So I guess we can come right back to our good president and say, hey, is there going to be a 3rd?
There will be a 3rd.
Okay.
Yes.
Look at that. Exactly. That was easy.
Yeah.
There we go. No, but this is good stuff.
Yeah, I think that Grand Bahama in particular is going to experience a growth in the tourism sector that it's never seen before in the next 5 years. And I think expos like this is very important, really, to connect our local people to opportunities. Again, it can be even outside of the Bahamas, but at least let them come here and see and see these unique offerings, connect with these various vendors, and be able to take what they see here, take it to the rest of the world.
Now, we're touting tourism consistently, and being a business owner that's not in the tourism sector myself, I'm sure persons that are watching would want to know, okay, well, I'm not in the tourism sector. Why would this still be beneficial to me to come here? Because I have been spending the last 2 weeks literally inviting every single person I come in contact with, come to the show.
Let me explain why. Because many of these islands, including Grand Bahama, we lack critical mass. You need people to make money, right? And so the tourism sector allows this critical mass that we've been looking for. That's where it's coming from.
Right.
So it's more than just the 47 or 50,000 persons that live here.
Right.
We now have an audience of millions. And so that is why, as a business person, you should want to tap into this space, because that's where the critical mass is.
And not only just the business person, those who are not sure what they want to do. I think it's just the exposure.
Right.
Being exposed to all the opportunities, like Ms. Williams would have said. You know, what it is that once you get in the space and you see what's going on, it makes you think. It's like you would have said, you know, it triggers, it inspires you, it encourages you. So even if you're not in the tourism sector, it just opens your mind to see all the available opportunities that are there. And I think that's why I stress to people, come in the room, come and take a look, because you're going to be inspired. Outside of tourism, okay, so let's look at this. Those persons that are in the tourism field may have a business, but then you may be able to facilitate that person. You may need uniforms for your business. Support them. That's something you can do. You need training for the staff that's working at the Vision. You may need particular type of shoes. You know, people are working Carnival Cruise Port. All those men needed vest and work hats, and I'm sure all of the companies on the island that provided those things, they got an incredible boost in business, because there's requirement to be on the work site, whether it's safety vests, whether it's flashlights, whether it's steel toe boots, all of those things. So I try to encourage people, even if you're not in this area, come in for sure, because there's definitely excitement on the floor. I'm seeing candle makers, I'm seeing people that are producing local fabrics and different things like that, and I'm just excited about it.
Perfect. So I know we want to go around with some additional thoughts and some final thoughts, but you know, Mr. Earl, we keep talking about the Freeport Business Expo, and I'm quite sure we're going to be showing a little bit of it on screen. What do you think about the idea of having these displays? Alex talked about people coming to have the experience, they have to see it for themselves. And we wanted to create that, I guess, IAAPA-like feel. What do you think is the benefit of having these displays for people when they come here?
I think there's nothing like touching and experiencing a product. You could speak about it, right, all day and all night, but actually to touch it and to speak with maybe the manufacturer of a product who could give you the ins and outs, makes you very comfortable about doing business with the owner of the company or senior management of the company, and also actually using the product in the Bahamas, in your offering, whatever that offering is. So it's very important for us to actually see these products in person, so you can feel it. And once you feel it, you can sell it.
Now there are some new businesses that we didn't have last year that are on the floor, and you would have done a walkthrough right after the opening ceremony. Tell us about some of those businesses that may not be able to make it on the show with us, but certainly let's share some of the information for them as well.
I think one in particular that wasn't here was Lounge Genie. Lounge Genie has it. It's a product that has different functions. Imagine a cooler. Imagine a safe in a hotel room. Imagine also a charger for your phone. And imagine a call button to call for a butler to come and take your order. So this product is an ideal product for almost every single hotel where you have a pool experience, every single water park, every single oceanfront type of activity like a Pirates Cove, for instance. All of these different types of businesses could benefit from this one product with all these different functions.
On the show floor?
And he's on the show floor.
Oh, I haven't gotten there
He's on the show floor.
I'm about to go down the Lounge Genie.
More than 50 exhibitors on the show floor, so you got to go and see Alex.
You have to go there. And then there's another product. The company was here last year. However, they're introducing a new product on the floor this year. And the name of the company, the Locker System Company.
Lock It Go.
No, not Lock It Go.
V-Locker.
Not V-Locker. It's
High
Jeremiah.
Water.
High Water.
High Water.
High Water.
Yes, yes.
They have these locker systems that work off of solar.
Yeah.
So
very cool.
again, if you are at a major cruise port or you have a major water experience or a very public beach that has a lot of activity, you don't need that power infrastructure because all we have is sun all day. Right. That's it. Right. So that's another very unique product that's here this year, and it wasn't here last year. I think we also have a company that did not present this product last year, but again, a new product presenting this year. It's called a Solar Cat. Solar Cat, right? It's like a small little catamaran, two-person, two-seater, right? We have all these canals in Freeport, and they're very much underutilized.
Very true.
This Solar Cat, let's say it goes about 5 to 6 miles an hour, and it feeds off the sun. It's a solar product again with a battery. I can see those excursions all through our canal system, especially based on the fact that the waters are typically calm.
Right.
Yeah, so that's another product.
that you would probably take your grandson in, but not for you.
Not for me, not for me. No, I want to go
It's not
fast.
fast enough.
I want to go fast.
Before we move on to our next person, I just want to ask quickly. So we're talking about all these international companies that are here.
Yeah.
Is there room for Bahamian businesses, tourism-based, to get in the room?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But again, I want to encourage our Bahamian brothers and sisters to bring unique product offerings forward.
Yes.
Don't just copy somebody else's idea and just implement that. Put a twist to it. Make it very unique. Create it in a way where you don't have competition.
Okay,
Yes.
I like it.
There you go.
So that's a great invitation.
Yes.
Anyone that's thinking of, can I come in the room and present my idea, my business to other persons, the opportunity is there.
Right. I think one of the major problems too for small business persons, access to capital, right? So again, I want to encourage persons to come out tomorrow. At 12 p.m. we have a pitch competition. We realize that funding is badly needed for small business. And so a number of our strategic partners have put monies together, almost to the tune of $40,000. 5 persons will be giving their pitch to 5 judges, and monies will be given to those individuals as prizes to start their businesses. So, and so we realize there's some shortcoming there. It's a struggle. We don't have markets like in the U.S. where money's more accessible. So we must get together and do our part to help.
Okay. Did I hear him say free money?
Yes.
Yeah.
We should have started the conversation with that.
Precisely that. Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you,
Rose,
Mr.
for
Rose.
You're welcome.
sharing that. And that's free tomorrow. Persons can come in for free to
Free.
be able to watch that live pitch.
Correct.
12 o'clock here at the Grand Lucayan Hotel, Freeport Business Expo. Come out and see, and I believe it's called the Tourism Titans.
Right.
Tourism
Capital
Titans
Arena.
pitch. Capital Arena Tourism Titans.
It would also give people an idea how to present a pitch
Yes.
Okay.
to get funding.
So 100% free.
And it's
100%
live.
free.
Okay.
Live.
And live.
Yes.
On the spot.
On the spot.
gonna win.
So they'll have an opportunity.
On the spot, they'll win.
On the spot, they'll win.
So
Okay.
we're just going into our final thoughts. Ms. McClellan, just tell us again, one more time, Snack Wellness, what do you want us to remember?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, like what you were just saying, like for every business, I think that we want the locals to know, like it takes a village in every new country that we come to as a US-based business, and we know that it's so important to kind of integrate our businesses into the community. And so while it's coming to see our new technology, and for us, obviously, it's sun safety and bringing that to the tourism coming in to the locals, it is also about kind of finding our right partners and building those relationships and making sure that our businesses can thrive as you guys thrive, helping us make our dreams happen. And so that's what's really important for us.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. And Mrs. Williams? Final thoughts?
We would love to encourage all of our Bahamians to come to this event. Like Mr. Roll mentioned, this is not just for Grand Bahama, this is for all of our islands, and being able to offer the information to them, whether there's the banking agencies, the insurance agencies, the innovation that's here. We want to make sure that our locals have that, and so that they can progress, because when they progress, we all progress.
Right.
And so we just look forward to a successful event. And for those who are here, we want to encourage you to come and visit our Love Grand Bahama booth. And so, yes, we're just excited for this event.
Okay, perfect. Thank you guys so much. We truly appreciate having you on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. And of course, we want to remind you, Freeport Business Expo Tourism Edition, May 1st and 2nd, here at the Grand Lucayan Hotel. Come out and see the expo show floor. Make sure that you go on the website, freeportbusinessexpo.com, so that you can get additional information. Find out who's going to be some of the speakers. Perhaps you want to get a ticket. Perhaps you just want to come in for free and just take a look, like Alex said. See, feel, experience, the way Mr. Roll would have mentioned, so that you can have your own experience and you can now begin to see and think about what it is that you might want to do. This is for entrepreneurs and licensees. This is an opportunity. The international groups would have come over to support us, and we're grateful to have them, but now we need to be here to ensure that we can see where our opportunities lie, and I know that they're going to be willing and ready to work with us, like Ms. McClellan at Snap Wellness. Alex, any thoughts?
Get in the room. That's the final thought.
That's it.
That's get in the room. And don't forget, tomorrow, 12 o'clock, Capitol Arena, Tourism Titan Edition.
Yes.
Money's given away.
Live pitch, almost $40,000?
No, $40,000.
$40,000.
Not almost, $40,000.
Quite a bit.
On the spot.
Quite a bit. So
All
we're
right.
definitely looking forward to all of that. Again, share this video if you're watching it on social media. We're just always so happy to have you guys with us. And of course, again, visit it, freeportbusinessexpo.com. Thank you for inviting us into your offices, your businesses, and your homes. We are always here for you on Grand Bahama's Best Talk Show. And until next time, I'm Glenda Sweeting.
And I'm Alex Thompson.
And we're informing you on the positive things that happen when you focus forward.
Listening to Focus Forward, sponsored by Invest Grand Bahama. Like us on Facebook at Invest Grand Bahama Small Business Bureau to stay updated. And drop a business card at the Grand Bahama Port Authority receptionist desk to have your business featured on our show. Tune in next Thursday, same time, same place, for Focus Forward.
With our adoption by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
We figured that we could use the First Bahamas branch of Toastmasters Club 1600, an all-male club that specializes and focuses on developing young men for leadership through communication.
This program has grown and has impacted our school in such a positive way that I don't think we'll ever have them leave us.
Too often, instead of us looking within, we look outside for someone to blame. Go take a look in the mirror. Instead of trying to identify what the problems are, let's try and figure out how we become a part of the solution.
We are teaching these children how to dream beyond their community.
Crime-free looks like me.
Do your part. Join the movement to a safer Bahamas.
I have been coming to this island since I was 12 years old. It didn't take me long to realize the rich history it has here. When I bought this island in 2018, I fulfilled a lifelong dream. The goal is not only to preserve the memories I made over those years, but to make new ones and to give others the opportunity to do the same. As we go through this process, it has become clear to me, we aren't just rebuilding an island, we're reviving a legend.
Summer in the Bahamas. The weather is hot, but not as hot as the ZNS summer packages. Get ads on ZNS TV or ZNS Radio Network or the TV community page, or a combination of all three. ZNS has got you covered with great prices, whatever package you choose. Book before June 7th and get the local Federation Championship Baseball bonus full of all kinds of extras free of charge. Contact your account executive or call ZNS Sales at 502-3800 today. Hot summer package rates valid until July 31st.
At Fort Charlotte, I'm Garnell Dames. This is ZNS.
Hey everyone, it's Monte.
And it's your girl, Nika B.
And welcome back to season 2 of The Drop. It's going to be such a good, fun time, guys. We are in our new home. We can't tell you exactly where it is yet, but you will figure out in just a few short weeks once you tune in to ZNS Network. But today is going to be such a fun show that we have lined up for you guys. 2 guests, Shine Bahamas and Johnny Cake. Did you even know that there was a connection there?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, and we're gonna find out all about that today in this episode. Well, I should say tonight. But Nika, I mean, tell me a little bit about the outfit inspiration. You know, it looks very good, very
festive,
what do you
yes.
say? Very classy, very
cutesy, very demure. Yes. But I just want to start off first by saying I really miss the